Hi there, I'm Amanda Cromhote from Truth. Welcome to the Blind Loyalty Challenge. We interview world experts in loyalty blindly. We're hoping to create insight, spontaneity, and a lot of fun through the challenge. The challenge is about promoting the blind loyalty trust, and my book called Blind Loyalty, 101 Loyalty Concepts Radically Simplified. All profits from the book go towards the trust. We hope you enjoy the Blind Loyalty Challenge. So for another Blind Loyalty Challenge, I get the absolute honor of interviewing someone I don't know, who I haven't met before, who was introduced to me by Dr. Najib Ben-Kader from Emirates Skywards. So JJ, welcome to the Blind Loyalty Challenge.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for having me on. This is an absolutely amazing initiative that you're doing, and really happy to be part of it. And of course, thank you to Najib, who's been a friend for over a decade, and I really admire what he does. So thank you for the nomination there, Najib.
No, wonderful. He was fabulous on the challenge, and you will be as well. So thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know JJ, he's the Vice President of Loyalty and Partnerships for EMEA for Marriott. So very, very significant player in the loyalty and rewards space. So I'm actually going to kick off straight into the hotel environment. So chapter 75 of Blind Loyalty talks about travel and hotel rewards. And our chapters are short and sharp. They're only 2 pages, but obviously Marriott has a place in the book of Blind Loyalty. But I'm not going to ask you about Marriott. I just want or rewards experience you've had.
That's a great question, Amanda. And I think if I was to use a personal example, I'm a bit of an introvert, right? So I do like to get away from time to time. And the amazing thing about having amazing hospitality brands like ours and a program like ours is just the tremendous amount of choice you get, right? I mean, they connect you to all the people and the places and the passions that you love. And I have a tendency once in a while when I'm fed up of everything to just take my backpack and go away for the weekend to a new place. And 3 destinations that really inspired me. And loyalty made all the difference because I was able to access these destinations that I didn't know and go with confidence. One was Bhutan, where we have a couple of amazing Meridian hotels. Another was Nepal, where we got a few hotels as well. And Iceland was another one as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I do like to get away from it all, but loyalty sort of makes you feel safe and connected, that you're getting the best member experience and recognition, and you can explore new places from a safe space.
It's incredible you use the word safe and almost that security blanket. So I mentioned in Blind Loyalty actually how if you're not flying on your favorite airline, how Rory Sutherland from Ogilvy, the deputy chairman of Ogilvy, spoke around, I just feel 30% more anxious the night before I get on the flight. So it's wonderful that how you've connected that with that sort of safety and security of doing something quite spontaneous about, going off to a new destination for the weekend. So I love that. I love the connection between the personal sort of adventure spirit and yet just having that little comfort blanket. So my second question is also around a bit more technical now. So in chapter 58, we talk about points expiry, which is obviously a very emotive subject. What's your view on points expiry?
Yeah, I know it's an emotional topic, right? And I think you've got to find the right balance. I mean, points to you've got to have some sort of time-bound nature of what you offer. But I think it's an incentive as well to make it easy to maintain those points, right? I think, if you look at Marriott Bonvoy, for example, if you have any transaction at all in a space of a couple of years, you can keep your points active and your status active. And I think what that does is it sort of helps you or nudges you gently to explore more options as well. Because there's so many things you could do, right, to earn points. It's not just the stay. And that's the beauty of creating a travel ecosystem, right? Like a platform. It's not just a hotel loyalty program, it's a travel ecosystem where you can get a credit card and earn points every day. That's in your wallet 24/7, 365. Your brand's in your wallet, right? You've got car hire, you've got the ability to transfer currency to airlines. We now offer F&B, right? So if you're not traveling and you're in the local market, you can go and earn and burn your points. So I
Yeah.
think points expiry definitely necessary. It definitely makes the finance folks happier because you can get the liability off your balance sheet. But
Of
I think
course.
for the member, you need to be careful about how you sort of communicate that, right? And expire those points. I mean, I've had lots of experiences with programs that I've only engaged in once or twice, and I've lost those points. And it hurts. It doesn't hurt that much. But with my favorite programs, I want to make sure it's sort of easy to keep that active with the lowest amount of effort, right? Because you want to keep
Yeah.
that stickiness with the program.
Yes, and if you're keeping active, no matter how small the exchange, your interaction with the brand may be, then you're hoping that, as you do for in Bonvoy, that it's the miles or points remain active for you. The worst, though, we get a lot of emotional feedback around the forced expiry, even if you're active, based on date of issuance. So, there's all the different options that brands take, and we all know the commercial dilemma that the finance commercials need to place on the discussion. But at the end of the day, the customer needs to feel that and I think, as you said, the brands that you don't engage in, you kind of know that they're going to expire if you can't engage with that brand more. And I think a sensible consumer would understand that. And my last question. So we're talking about points expiring. So obviously the opposite of that is redemption. We have a couple of chapters in Blind Loyalty, chapter 53 and 54, that talk about, one talks about redemption in a broader sense, and one then talks about behavioral change and the sort of psychology of redemption. What have you seen to be behavioral change post the redemption?
That's a great question. And, so we typically see just, I think, stepping away from redemption, starting with the program itself, we typically see that once somebody joins the program and after your second stay, that's when the stickiness starts increasing because you start seeing what you're getting out of the program. And the first redemption, I would really call the hero stay, especially at a hotel, because that's where, your hard-earned currency is going to work for you. And typically what happens, right? I mean, you might be traveling in business and collecting points. And then the hero stay is really with your family, right? Where you want to look good, you want to have everything go right. So we really focus a lot on the redemption stay. I think if you've had a successful redemption stay, that creates that emotional stickiness that you really want for the program.
Yeah.
And if you notice a lot of our marketing material as well, right? When we sell co-brand cards or market the program itself, it's these aspirational destinations that people want to sort of bank up for, right? And we saw that throughout the pandemic as well. It was amazing, right? Because people couldn't travel, and that made them want to travel even more. And
Yeah.
even if people couldn't travel in the short term, people were banking up their points currency to save up for when they could. So I think redemptions are incredibly important, right? And because you want to see that payoff from the program, because otherwise people won't stick around for the long term.
Exactly. Amazing. I love the terminology you use there, the hero stay. That's great. I love that. I just wanted to you may know this already, but in chapter 100, this isn't another bonus question, by the way. You've done your 3 questions. In chapter 100 of Blind Loyalty, we actually have 100 favorite loyalty programs, as mentioned on Let's Talk Loyalty, because Paula Thomas always asks, and I have the privilege of being a guest host for her. We always ask the first question, like, what's your favorite loyalty program? And I don't know if you know this, you probably do know it and won't be surprised by it, but Marriott Bonvoy is in the top 25 of loyalty professionals' favorite loyalty program. So
Amazing.
it's
Thank you,
listed in
man.
there. So we have 100 and you're in the top 25. So I just thought I'd make sure you know that in case it slipped past you.
Well, it's taken
Okay.
it's taken a tremendous team to get us to that point, right? We've got an amazing global team, and I mean, if you recall the history, right, we combined SPG and Marriott Rewards and Ritz-Carlton Rewards, and
Yeah.
that was, I think it was a life-changing experience for most of us doing that, right? Because we wanted to preserve the best bits of these programs and
Yeah.
make them even better. And I think we've managed that, but we're still learning every day and improving. So it's good to hear.
Yeah, it is a great story though around these 2 gargantuan programs that you brought together. So when you said it was life-changing, I wasn't sure if you were going to say from all the stress of having to manage it as well. It's probably a bit of both, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So who would you like to tag to be in the hot seat for the next challenge?
I've been racking my brains, and it's I mean, there's so many tremendous professionals in the industry. I think since you've interviewed quite a few airline folks already, and now you've got hotels, I think I'd maybe switch it up a little bit. Obviously, I can't nominate Najib again, but maybe we could look at rail. So I know Sven, who looks after loyalty for Deutsche Bahn in Germany. I think he would be a tremendous person to interview. I haven't told him this yet, so I'm hopefully he's going to be willing to do it. But I think he'd be great.
That's amazing. Wonderful. Well, as I said, I think to you earlier, the beauty of what I'm doing with the Blind Loyalty Challenge is I get to meet amazing new loyalty professionals. So thank you for the nomination. Great. Well, you did say to me off recording that you're terribly nervous about something like this, but you've got absolutely no reason whatsoever to be nervous. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it.